Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. So today I've been out here hiking around and I was going to be done with videos for today, but I came across this kind of perfect circumstance to talk a little bit about fence crossings in an evasion situation. So I thought I'd go ahead and make a real quick video on it. And I don't know if I'll hit every point because this is kind of impromptu, but I think I'll probably hit the main points of it. So when you're talking about evasion, right? You're talking about a situation where you are wanting to avoid contact with anybody and everybody. You're trying to stay hidden. You're trying to, for whatever reason, not come in contact with people. So crossing a fence is a lot like crossing a road, and a lot of the considerations are the same. The first thing that you want to do is you want to sit back away from the fence, and you want to observe it. And there's a fence right up here. I don't know if you guys can see this. My truck's just behind those trees, and there's a fence right there. See the fence post and the barbed wire. And so before I even got close to it, I'd want to sit back down here, probably at this tree line, and I'd want to observe that road. And I'd want to watch it for a while and try to establish if there's a pattern, if there are guards or anything like that, if, whatever the case may be, any patrols or anything like that. So once I had watched it long enough that I felt it would be safe, then what I want to do is I want to try to find a place, and this is why I stopped here to show you this, because this is kind of a perfect little spot. And if you can see, the ground comes down and then it goes back up. There's a little ravine that runs right up there to the fence. And that's what I would want to use. I'd want to stay in cover, and I would want to, kind of do my little sneaky peek crawl right down through here, and I would be stopping anytime that I got to, good cover, and then I would continue on up until I got closer to the fence. I'm going to use this cover and this low-lying terrain to help me get up closer to it. And then once you get up to the fence, let me show you how I would cross it once I got to it. Here, just a second. Okay, so once I've got up to the fence here, let me turn this around. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a place that has got a little bit of cover by me. You can see my truck's right up there. I'm going to try to find a place that's low in the fence. Like I said, you're kind of using this ravine, and then ideally I'd like to have some cover in the area. So like over here I've got a little stump, I've got a little rock right here. Now over here the fence is more open and it might be easier to cross through, but I don't have as much stuff to help hide me. So what I would do is I would try to go through right here. Now let me show you one other thing. You don't want to cross over the top of the fence, because generally speaking, and this isn't the best example, but it'll work. Alright, so generally speaking, fence lines are going to be cleared and you're going to be able to see down them a long ways. So going over them is not going to be the best route, because it's going to highlight you to anybody who might be trying to look. So what you want to do is go underneath the fence. And what I like to do when doing this is just carry a stick like this, and you can use that stick to stick up underneath there and then prop up like this so that you can slide under it a little easier. So let me show you how that works. Alright, so I'm just going to take that stick and I'm just going to push it up in there, kind of like that, and then I'm just going to use it to hold it up as I slide through. And that's more important if it's closer to the ground. It's not so important when it's a little higher like this, but it can help you. You also want to try to make sure to hold on to it and don't let it go, you know, twanging, because the sound from a fence crossing can carry a long ways. You know, that sound could alert somebody, you know, who's down the ways, you know, that it's crossing, especially if it's a tighter fence. It's going to carry even further. So then I'm going to go ahead and pull my pack through, holding on to it, letting it down easy, and then I can move on. Okay guys, so that's just been some considerations on crossing a fence. Like I said, there could be some other aspects that you'd want to think about, but that is the main thing. I will tell you that I've heard some folks talk about electric fences and not being able to tell if it's electric and all that kind of stuff. And electric fences are pretty easy to identify because the electrified wires are going to have insulators on them that are going to keep them from grounding out. So if the fence doesn't have any kind of insulator holding it away from the pole and keeping it from, you know, grounding out, if it's basically, here, let me show you. If it's basically metal to metal in any way, whether it be like this on a T-post, or you know, whether it be on a chain link fence or whatever the case may be, if it's metal to metal and then going into ground, it's not going to be electrified. It can't be electrified. But if it's got some, you know, porcelain or ceramic insulators or whatever, then it could be. And a lot of times on a high voltage wire like that, you'll hear a slight buzz to it once you get close as well. But just look for the insulators. That's the easiest thing on crossing fences. Well, anyway, guys, that is it for crossing fences. As always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.